guys, welcome back to episode 18 of Bobcat Corner. I am Stephen Vitt, reporting once again about the Ohio Bobcats football team, and I'm going to be covering going forward the 2024 regular season for Ohio University, and we are going to pick up where we left off when it comes to the series titled Know the Bobcats. And just as it sounds, we're going to get to know the Bobcats players on the football team, position by position. That's what I was planning on. And for this episode, we're going to go right to it. We're going to highlight the linebackers on the defensive side of the ball. Now, just as what I mentioned earlier in a previous episode about the defensive linemen, the linebackers, they also make up the front seven of the defense. They're the first line of defense for your football team. And as part of the front seven, the linebackers have got to find a way to get to the quarterback, just like the defensive linemen do. So, with that in mind, the Bobcats have players coming in that are going to help them succeed in doing just that. And I've been looking around, searching for information about which players the Bobcats have been able to uh, get in via the transfer portal or just freshmen getting onto the team. And I'm going to go through the entire list of linebackers that the Bobcats have officially on their roster as of right now. You could go up on the official Ohio Bobcats website and check out the roster. It's right there for you guys to see. And we're just going to go through this list right now real fast. I'm just going to hit the key points about these players, especially the most notable ones in my opinion, and I'll also list the others that are on the roster. So first of all, for notable players in the linebacking department, linebacker Shea Taylor. Let's just start off with him. Last year, he had 20 tackles, 9 of them solos, 1.5 tackles for losses, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. He's entering this season as a redshirt junior. Uh, from what I've heard, there was talk that there's like possibility that he may not have come back to the Ohio Bobcats, but ultimately, as you see, he is coming back to the Bobcats. He's going to be wearing the green for this year, so that's great. Great sign there. Shea Taylor, obviously, he's going to be the leader of the defense, in my opinion, especially in the linebacking part of it. So don't be surprised if you see Shea Taylor flying around in the middle of the field, trying to make plays, trying to make stops. And so following him would be redshirt sophomore Michael Monar. Uh, he only appeared in 3 games last year with 9 tackles, but considering the talent that we currently have on our roster, which some of the players that we had last year are not coming back. Obviously, we've lost like 30-ish players to the transfer portal at least. I would expect Michael Monar to have a bigger role on the defense, probably playing alongside Shea Taylor. And also coming back is senior Dylan Stevens. He had 7 tackles, 3 of them solos last year. Obviously, not a lot of production, but again, just like with Michael Monar, I do expect Dylan Stevens to have a bigger role to play on the Bobcats defense this year. Uh, redshirt freshman Brady Sicily. He did not play last year, but he certainly looks the part though. 6'4", 205 pounds. Uh, Plays high school ball at Dublin Jerome High School. He was the team captain for Dublin Jerome in 2022, so he has leadership qualities. His high school career, he had 152 tackles, 13 tackles for losses, and 4 sacks. So he has shown the ability to demonstrate productivity in making stops, making plays on defense. So I have no worries about that. Uh, Coming in, joining the Bobcats via transfer portal. Uh, let's start with 5th-year senior Reese Collier. Collier. Uh, 6'3", 213 pounds. He did not see any action last year. And last couple seasons, though, prior to that, he was with UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham, the Blazers. In 2022, he appeared in 4 games for the Blazers, 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. I would expect a guy like that, Reese Collier, to see the field and to try to make plays for the Bobcats. That's why you bring in guys like this. So moving on to the others. Others listed. Blake Leak. Here's an interesting case here. Blake Leak, a linebacker coming in to join the Bobcats. He is also a fifth-year senior, and he comes from the FCS level of play. Uh, he was a team captain for Bucknell previously before joining the Bobcats. 6'2", 215 pounds. For Bucknell, he had 53 tackles for and 3.5 tackles for losses. So he started 6 games for Bucknell in that year, last year. So we're getting promising talent, back onto the roster. And once again, you notice a recurring theme here. We're getting in players that are wanting to prove themselves. They're wanting to have that opportunity to play. Those are the kinds of guys we're trying to get onto our team, and we are getting those players. So there again, another example, Blake Leak. Uh, Other guys coming back to the Bobcats for the linebacking crew. Uh, Jack Freeze, redshirt sophomore, 6'2", 215 pounds. Stellan Bowman, freshman, 6'0", 226 pounds. Jason Kelly, freshman, 5'11", 205 pounds. And Ryan Matheny, linebacker, freshman. Lucas Stiles, redshirt freshman, 5'9", 225 pounds. And Parker Starts, a freshman, 6'3", 240 pounds. So that is that's your crew of linebackers for the Ohio Bobcats as it is right now for the roster for the 2024 regular season. And I want to take this moment to acknowledge the fact that, yes, the Ohio Bobcats are running a 4-3 scheme. That means 4 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers. That's our front 7. Now, I know previously I said, I prefer 3-4, but honestly, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the Bobcats themselves are making the call, and they're going to go for a 4-3, and I'm like, I'm all for it. So, if I could take just a quick moment to discuss the front 7, it is very critical, guys, to have a front 7 that's competent, that's strong enough, that is that's flexible enough to make plays, to disrupt, because battles are won and lost on the line of scrimmage in the trenches. You can't do that if you're not going to be competent up front. It doesn't matter what your secondary does. If your front 7 keeps breaking down, and if you let the opposing offensive line keep having their way, then guess what? You're going to be in for a long game. It's going to be a long day for you guys. So you don't necessarily need to have the biggest, strongest guys out there, but you do need a competent crew of guys who are experienced, who know how to tackle, who know their assignments, who know how to disrupt, and they have to read the play. No matter what the opposing quarterback is doing, no matter where the opposing running back is going, and also with tight ends blocking and wherever they're going, the defensive front 7, they've got to work together. They got to be a team, and they got to demonstrate that cohesiveness. They got to demonstrate the fact that, okay, this is what we got to do. We got to disrupt. We got to bust up a play here. Got to tackle. Got to make sure we keep the ball in front of us, because that's a really important thing when you're playing defense. You got to keep that ball in front of you. If you give that quarterback all time to pass, then guess what? You're in for a long day. So as a linebacker, you got to have that mentality. It's got to be up here. You got to have that mentality of, okay, I'm not going to let anything get by me. If the quarterback is going to dump off a pass like in the middle of the field to someone coming my way, if I'm a linebacker, I just got to make sure I make that play. I got to stop the wide receiver. I got to stop the tight end, or even the running back coming in. I got to stop them. That's what you got to do if you're a linebacker. So it's also mentality. Really, I would think so. It's really a mentality that you got to have. You got to have the right mentality. I mean, yeah, athleticism, physical skills, yeah, but you got to have the right mentality. You got to have the right combination of all that. So yeah, we are going to run a 4-3 scheme for our defense this year. As I mentioned way earlier, we brought in Kurt Maddox to be our new defensive line, defensive ends coach for the Bobcats, and we are getting some talent. As I will mention again here very soon in another video, we are bringing in some talent via transfers and just with freshmen coming on to the team. So just be on the lookout for it. You know, the MAC conference. One more thing about the MAC conference. It's obviously a G5 conference, and it's obviously that kind of conference where, as a player, you got to prove yourself. If you're going to prove yourself worthy of having the same kind of achievements and accolades as you would if you were playing a power conference, you got to prove it. And the MAC is definitely a great proving ground. The MAC is definitely a great proving ground for players to show what they can do. That's the whole purpose of the MAC, in my opinion. So the Ohio Bobcats, we're loaded with players that have that desire to go out there and show what they can do. I'm intrigued. So yeah, that's a rundown of the linebackers for our team for this year. Unless anything else new pops up, which I will update you guys on. Yeah, that's basically it for linebackers. So yeah, I will attach a link below in the description box so you can check out the Ohio Bobcats roster again, check out the linebackers, and just let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I'm running a new setup here with the webcam, and obviously, you're getting a new view of Bobcat Corner. But let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys are having a good day today, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Thank you. Bye.